Welcome everyone. Tonight, Clover Garden Schools board meeting, September 15th, 2020, 6:30. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ms. Reagan, will you give us the roll of mission, please?
The role of board, where you're entrusted to care for the current school and stay focused on the vision for the future school. No trust, no unity, no progress. Mission of Clover Garden School. Clover Garden School will foster community, generate enthusiasm, challenge students academically, and produce successful citizens.
Thank you. So we have our agenda in front of us. I hope everyone has had a chance to review it. Does anybody have any comments? Do we need to make any changes to the agenda? I'll take that as no. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion. Who would like to make a motion for the agenda, to approve the agenda? Brooks makes a motion. Who seconds? Saunders takes a second. All in favor? Attached also, we have our minutes from our last meeting. Our last meeting was August 11th, 2020. Take a few seconds. Anybody got any changes, comments to the minutes? Any questions? Are there any, do we need to make any changes? Okay. With that, who would like to make a motion? Who second? All in favor for the minutes? All in favor? All right, next we'll move into public comments. We have 3 that has submitted written comments. So I'll read the beginning of the comments, just a general statement, and then I'll get into the 3 comments. So the written public comments, the purpose of the public comment is to allow our Clover Garden School Board of Directors to hear directly from our community on matters of the school. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. In this case, there will not be 3 minutes. They're reading the forum. So speakers are welcome to offer comments on board criticism directed at substantial ideas, actions, or procedures of the board and individual board members. In the interest of maintaining civility and decorum, however, board members will not tolerate or allow personal attacks and insults directed at the board, individual board members, staff, or members of the general public. The laws and policies of North Carolina provide that issues or concerns involving individual personnel matters are confidential and therefore not appropriate for public comment settings. Concerns related to personal issues may be addressed through the school director / principal or assistant principal, the grievance policy, or other applicable policies. Speakers, including students, may discuss issues and matters of general concern, but should refrain from discussing confidential student information. Concerns related to confidential student matters may be addressed through contacting the school's director, principal, the grievance policy, or other applicable policies. So we'll start with number 1. This one is from Henry Anderson. The topic is virtual learning. Comment is this: who will make the decision to allow students to return to school? What would need to happen for their anticipated return to become a reality? Has Clover Garden been able to look at other schools that have opened locally with safety precautions in place? Is it known that a widespread outbreak has occurred due to the return in these settings? If no significant outbreak has been found due to their students returning, what enables them to be able to return safely? Well, it is deemed that Clover Garden students can't. Okay, that's the end of the first comments. Our second comment is from Sarah Long. The top topic is on distance learning. The comment is this: 1.5 hours of live instruction is provided weekly to my son. It's supposed to be 2 hours, but I was told by a teacher that limiting small groups to 15 minutes was requested by administration due to a large amount of people needing to use campus. How disadvantaged will my son be compared to a student at another school who is getting 3 hours of live instruction for math and English daily? What will be needed to make up for this deficit when returning to school? Why is this okay? So that's the end of the second comment. The third and last comment is from Sierra Combs. The topic is returning to school. The comment is this: my family is finding virtual learning very difficult. Although we do our best, there are 4 other children at home, and it certainly is not what I would call environment conducive to learning. We have no family at high risk and feel our child's education is essential. Parents that don't want their children to return have many options and can decide what's right for their family. The needs of those at high risk who don't attend school shouldn't come before the needs of those that do. Thank you. So that's the end of the third public comment. Okay, we'll move on to special guests. There's no special guests. Okay, so we'll move into finances. Ms. Simmons.
You have the July and August monthly budget to review.
Any comments on July's? Here none, we'll go ahead and somebody like to make a motion to approve July's budget. Foster makes the motion. There's a second. Brett, a second. All in favor? Let's move on to August budget. Any comments? Here none, we would like to make a motion to approve August budget. Saunders makes a motion. Who seconds it? Brett seconds it. All in favor? So that is July and August budget approvals. Next on the agenda is academics, the principal report.
So for our principal's report today, I am happy to report to you that our 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year and Staff of the Year has been selected by our staff. We're super excited to announce that Ms. Tori Taylor is our Teacher of the Year that will be representing us. She has turned in her packet to the powers that be, and it is left in their hands to be judged. So we're wishing her luck. And then also Ms. Arlene Lasker was named Staff of the Year. We did this on our last virtual staff meeting before the break, and we made it this big deal. It was kind of like Ed's Publishers Clearinghouse. We busted up in their classrooms and shot confetti cannons at them and gave them flowers and a nice award just to celebrate them, because this award is chosen by their peers. And so that's humongous that their peers are seeing what they're doing and recognizing them. And of course, we want to give a special shout out to our long range committee. They were on campus that day, and so we kind of brought them along with us, and they were great sports. So we appreciate that. And right here, we've got some pictures of these two lovely ladies on the day that they got their awards. Other quick things that I want to let you know about. Our Reader's Choice with Times News is happening. That award We are in the running for the best charter school in Alamance County, and we are running for the 5th year in a row. We've won this award for that many times, and of course, we want to defend our title. And voting ends this week. Also, we've got some community helpers. Just because we're learning virtually does not mean that learning and community things are not going on at Clever Garden. Miss Long's 3rd grade class for Labor Day took time to write thank you cards and letters to community helpers around our area and to deliver them on their own time. And so here's just some sweet pictures of their letters. And I know it's super short or small, but if you go on our Facebook page, you can see the larger version of it. And then also, we would like to introduce to you our brand new little Grizzly Cub mascot. So you know we've revamped our upper school grade level Grizzly, and here is our elementary Grizzly. We want to give a huge shout out to Pip and Miss Thompson for working on this. They went back and forth to design this cute little guy, and we cannot wait to show him to the rest of our stakeholders, to the rest of our family. Y'all are the first to see it. We've got some upcoming events going on. So this week is All American Week. Our student council is sponsoring a virtual event with a competition of poems and posters all about the U.S. Constitution. The BOD for 3rd graders is happening tomorrow and Thursday. So we are giving them love and support as they take that big test this week. Also, our Scholastic Virtual Book Fair is going to start this Friday, and it's going to last until October 1st. And I'm excited about it being virtual. Of course, we love it being here in the building, hands-on and exciting for the kids. But with virtual, you have so many more options of books. And so every single member of the family will have resources and will be able to potentially find a book for their home library. On the 22nd of September, our seniors are taking the ACT, and then we have our first round of check-in testing October 5th through the 9th, and then our first day of the second 9 weeks is October 7th, only to be matched by academic grade starting on October 12th through the 16th, and then our next board meeting is on the 20th of October. The other thing that I wanted to share with you real quick is our wait list numbers. So at our last meeting, we had a wait list of 563, and now we have increased to 570, which is awesome. Enrollment. All right, and then our current enrollment numbers are 552. So I think we had somebody move, family move. So that is the principal's report. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll move on to the old businesses. We only got one item for old business across country course. So this is for information. Everything is with the athletic department, so we're just waiting for them to present. It's to my understanding that they will present their proposal on this course sometime in November. So that's all we have for all business. So we'll move into the governance section of our agenda. We'll start with our committee updates. Brett, start with our governance, please.
Randy brought it to my attention today that I think most of the members are aware that we have a stipend to the athletic club and the band. And those stipends are to pay for many things throughout the year, such as cost for band competitions, referees and stuff like that. Those funds are obviously not going to be used for the normal things this year. So we need to change some language to allow the band director and the athletic director in concert with Mrs. Rake and administration to decide what to do with that money and the best way to use it. It's already allotted, correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Simmons, but that money's already allotted in the budget. It's already spent. They just can't use it in the normal way that they would. So we need to allow them to use those funds in whatever way is best from that each director and Mrs. Reagan decides. Does everybody agree that we need to change that language in the policy? Anybody have any questions about it?
How does it read now?
It's basically a stipend that the board, we used to have fundraisers and the staff was inundated with constant fundraisers. The teachers would have to be keeping up with stuff. So the board decided, how many years ago? 3, 4 years ago? To give them a stipend from the general account. And
I just, I don't mean to, it's not a stipend. I just
well,
want to,
a certain amount.
No, I just want to, just for minute records.
Okay.
It's an allotment.
An allotment.
There you go.
So we gave them allotment from the general fund so that they would not have to raise so much money and bother the staff so much with all the fundraisers constantly going on. And that money was meant for like referees, officials, travel expenses, gas, everything that both the band and the athletic department would usually need in a year to year. Now they're still allowed to have 1 fundraiser a year. 2, if they check with Mrs. Barakin, they're still allowed to have some of those fundraisers. Obviously, we're not going to do it this year, but that money is set aside for, gas. We're not using gas this year, but the wording is that to keep them using it just for the yearly funds for referees and stuff like that, it's kind of corners them in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a temporary amendment to offer some flexibility just for this year, to where they are not limited just to those specific items in the policy that they're not able to utilize for. So it's just giving them a little more autonomy and flexibility.
It was kind of the way it was worded. It was to keep them from buying new uniforms all the time and stuff like that. It was just for the year-to-year operations that they would have to pay for to play sports or to enter competitions. And this will give them, because they're not going to use it for that this year, this will give them some flexibility to use the fund for other things.
Do they have ideas for what the other things will be at this point?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they have. A lot of it is just, they have. They've shared with us. They're really the driver of wanting this change. And so that's why, I just told them we would present to you guys and then we would manage it on, on our end as far as just like we normally do. It's just allowing that, the extra, flexibility in the items. Yeah. And it's just a temporary amendment just for the 2021 school year. It'll go back, once.
Have we written a new amendment or do I need to draw it up?
It was sent to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it was sent to the government's committee.
I was trying to pull it up, but it's not coming up.
It's okay. I can pull it up if you like, or that it was just a 1 sentence.
Yeah.
Amendment.
At the end, this is basically what it says on each one. It just says, in addition to said items above, the allotment of funds will be allowed for purchasing the needs and requirements for athletic boosters and CGS athletes based on a return to play criteria or any other items that the athletic directors and administration's discretion as it pertains to the athletic program. And that was the amendment. And the other one basically just did the very same thing, but it was about.
Who wrote that? Good job. Vote to approve the change. First, well, you do it. It's your job.
Well, I'm not sure if this is something we're supposed to vote on.
I would,
She'd
the
feel better if
governance
you
of
did.
it has, we work, the governance suggest, but I would put it in I would go ahead and just make a motion to amend that policy.
So we'll have to make a motion to amend the policy. Right, makes a motion, do a second. Sonia seconds it, all in favor?
Sonia, we're scheduled.
I'm sorry.
Just for a minute.
I go away. It's fine.
Don't worry.
You should have corrected me. Well done. Okay, was there another one or just just one amendments or two amendments?
It'd be one for band and one for athletics.
Okay. So we want to vote for both or just all together?
They're two separate policies, but they're two separate allotments
Okay,
because it's funding.
okay,
Now vote for athletics.
okay. This one's for the athletics. So who would make a motion for the men athletics policy? All right. Yeah, makes a motion, who seconds it? Brett seconds it.
Can somebody
All in favor?
forward me that
Yes.
language? Thank you.
So the first one was band, the second one was athletic. Anything else for governance? Brett?
No.
That's it. Okay. Next is the finance committee. Sponsored.
We will be meeting on October the 1st to review the budget, and we'll have a report for the next meeting.
Okay. Can you give us also an update on the academic committee?
Our last meeting was on the 27th of August, right before break. So we've not scheduled a follow-up meeting yet, but they are working on the remote learning plan, improving that, and things of that nature. So we will be scheduling another follow-up meeting later this month.
Okay.
Mr. Fine. Can I just add one thing to the finance update? We also have an internal controls review on October 20th. As far as finance committee.
Okay. Is there anything else for academics? You're good. That's right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So last one is the long range planning committee. So we've been very busy last few weeks. So let me give you an update where we're at as far as our architectural engineering services for the expansion project. So we have received 9 proposals. So we've been busy reading, going through proposals, and we have met, those came in August 28th. So we've met and we have decided as a committee to shortlist 4 firms. So with that, all 4 firms have been notified to come in and do a presentation for us, for the committee. So that we'll have that in a couple of weeks, and then right immediately following, we will make a selection on our team, our firm, to move forward with the plan, the engineering, architectural design. So that's where we're at as far as the expansion project. We got 4 very nice teams that's going to present.
How different are the designs?
We don't have the design right
Oh, you don't have them yet?
It's just a request for qualifications at this point.
Oh,
As soon as we select a team, then that's where we'll get into the design process. So that's it for committee updates. So next one on the agenda is the board structure ebook.
So this is just info only. You guys always ask about training and development and things like that. So Dr. Tom Miller has worked with our group before. He's the one that did our retreat. I did some training along those lines. He has come out with a book for how productive boards run, things of that nature. We joined one of these last year. It was an online program called Navigate. So some of you have some familiarity with that. It's like some professional development and things like that. But it was kind of an interesting read, and I'll pass these around. If you want a copy of it, I can shoot it to you in an email. But it's like a board development plan. So I thought this might be helpful to pass along as we're working towards our mid-year retreat, things like that. As y'all were asking, what do we work on when we train, those kind of things. So it kind of breaks down the different committees and what the responsibilities are. It's kind of in addition to what we already have in our bylaws and things like that, but just kind of add some clarity to just the structure of the board. There's some interviewing questions in there. As you know, we have that open position on the board, so we'll be having some interviews soon. So it's just an interesting read. It kind of helps you put things back in perspective and helps maybe answer some questions that you might have about the structure of the board. So this is more kind of governance, but I will pass that around. You're welcome to take a look at it, and I will send it to you electronically as well if you'd like. But I've tried to pass anything along that seems worthy and credible as we continue to work to strengthen our board. So, thank you, sir.
Very good, thank you. I believe that's the last item for governance. We'll move on to new business. So this is the, start with the drinking water one.
Yes, sir. For record, our drinking water monitoring, our lead and copper tap monitoring samples have been submitted to the state on August 17th, 2020. This monitoring sample is every 3 years. The last submission was on August 22nd, 2017. Our VOC, which is our volatile organic chemical samples, were taken on September the 1st, 2020, and sent to the state as well, which is the VOC is an annual testing. And our disinfection byproduct samples were taken on 9/1/2020 as well. And this is an annual submission. So when they come out to do the VOC, they do the VOC and the disinfectant byproduct samples. And that's taken at the same time every year in the September month. I like to report that all samples are in process of being analyzed and sent to the state, and we will report the results in October. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next one on the list is also with you, Title I information.
All right, so we'd like to, we have in our meeting, we've applied for Title I and Title II and Title IV funds for record based off of our needs assessment and data. So Title I is used for math intervention specialists and the salary and their Social Security. Also, Title II is used for professional development. And Title IV, we opt to roll it up into Title I to help offset salary. So the current total, as of right now, the current total of Title I funds is roughly $40,000. And so we just wanted to let you know about how the allotments were, or how it was projected to spend. We're looking at new goals as we enter our Title I monitoring visit on Thursday. I know last year we had reported that, and they moved it, of course, due to COVID. So our actual visit is this Thursday. Based off of some more current needs at the school, we may be, shifting some goals and resetting some goals. And Ms. Morakin, myself, and Ms. Garrison and NTSS are all working together to get that updated. But wanted to report the fund usage.
Okay, does anybody got questions about Title
Yeah, and then Ms. Morakin has some to
I? Okay.
speak to on Title I as well.
So like she said, we'll know more after Thursday. Thursday's monthly visit, and we'll have more information because we don't necessarily have a Title I coordinator. We all kind of share that role. So we'll learn a little bit more. One of the things that we've already been made aware of is that we are considered a TSI school, which is a targeted support and improvement type school. So we have to create a school-wide improvement goal based on some of our testing data. Of course, not last year because we didn't have any testing data, but from the year prior, in regards to some of our subgroups who are underperforming. So we will have to set a goal and strategies and put those things in place. So I'm hoping by the next meeting, I will have a letter ready and drafted for you to look at and our goals set and our strategies in place for that so that we can meet that subgroup. So that all has to do with accountability and our testing data and things of that nature. So I will have more details for you with the next meeting.
What qualified us for the TSI? Was it our young third grade guys?
So for us, for this particular one, I don't know if you guys remember I feel like it was maybe 2 years ago, we had a presentation from our former testing coordinator about subgroups that we needed to watch and things like that. So one of our subgroups, our EC population, missed some targets in reading and math. And so those are the areas we're going to have to focus on and put additional strategies in place. They've already been happening, I guess, informally, but now we have to formally document what we're doing and what strategies we're putting in place for those kiddos. So that is just something that we have recently learned about, and what procedures we have to do, and what programs we have to put this information in, based on some information, preparing for our Title I audit. So, there will be a letter that will be sent out to all the families, and things like that, letting you know what the goals are, and of course, you know, what the strategies are for us to improve, that subgroup.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So can you remind us how often we have to do this process?
So the Title I audit is every 3 years. So it's a pretty lengthy, and special shout out to Ms. Simmons and Ms. Harrison and Ms. Moore for helping collect the data on that. It's a very lengthy process. It's already been very eye-opening. I'm speaking for all of us. It's been very eye-opening for us. But we're always there to learn and improve. So.
Any other comments on Title I? That will move on to the next item for new business is supplemental insurance and employee portal. Mrs. Simmons.
Over the past couple of months, part of the HR due diligence is putting stuff out there for better benefits for our employees, any kind of cost savings that we can incur as a school or to our staff and teachers. So with that being said, we're right in the middle. We're getting ready to roll up on our supplemental insurance renewal. And currently right now, we have one company that they offer supplemental insurance to our teachers and staff. So when I say that, I mean like short-term disability, cancer policies, you know, accident and critical illness policies. And so it's up to our teachers, you know, if they want to opt into that. It is no cost to the school. It is, and we don't even administer it. They're administered by those specific individuals or agencies, but it is payroll deducted for them. So with that being said, we've done some looking around, and I have a proposal that will actually, it'll almost mirror what they're being offered. And it is a huge savings to some of the employees. I'll just one example. Ms. Cox, do you mind if I use your example? A policy that one of our employees has is currently paying $90 for the policy, and the same policy was only going to cost her $28. So it's almost a $60 a month savings for some of these. So what I would like to propose is that the board grant permission for me to move forward with these switching our supplemental insurance agencies and roll that out to the employees and the staff and teachers, so we can give them some savings.
Again, it's the same benefits. It's reduced.
It's the same. So there are a couple that are not going to be offered, but they will have the option. The couple that will not be offered are the less common insurance policies. Like I think it's one of them is called special events. You know, those are, you know, I think sometimes they call oversell, you know, but they will have the option to keep that policy. They just have to pay that agency direct. It won't be a payroll deducted thing. So does that answer your question, Ms. Ruffine?
Yes.
They can still keep whatever they have, except for the ones that are not going to be offered, then they can still keep that. They just got to pay for it directly.
Do you know if we have any staff that's going to be affected by not being able to get those policies on the new one? Just two?
And that'll actually change whenever we, and just to show it's dental, it's like an orthodontic policy that they offer. And they'll just have to, if they want to keep that, they'll just have to keep it till our open enrollment for dental in January. And then we'll be able to, when we do our open enrollment in January for dental, for effective date of February 1, our new dental plan is going to buy, it's called buy up kind of. We're going to roll that in. You can't do that in the middle of a term. So they'll just have to do it just for a few months, and then they will be offered the same thing, but it'll be with one, one agency.
Will the cost savings for those two individuals cover the other costs that they'll have to pay to keep that policy? You know,
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
That's already payroll deducted, so they're already used to that money coming out. It'll just be a difference of it being coming out of your check and then just having to write a check. You see what I'm saying? That won't be offered, so it'll wash.
So
Does that answer your questions, Coach?
basically, they won't lose their coverage.
No, sir.
Anybody else got any comments, questions?
Any feedback from the rest of the staff, or you really haven't bounced it off of them? Or you have?
No, this has not been presented to them yet.
All right.
Mm-mm. That's why I'm being a little reserved.
Any other comments? All right, let's go for a vote. So who would like to make a motion for this change? Supplemental insurance and employee portal.
Or the employee force.
I'm sorry,
It's okay.
the supplemental insurance. We'll make a motion. Brett make a motion, who would like to second it? Then seconds it, all in favor? And next we'll move to the employee portal.
This is a free, and this does not require a vote, it's just for information. But with this, we're looking at moving on to like an employee portal. It's called Employee Navigator. And it'll be a one platform to where our teachers and staff can go in and view all their benefits, with the exception of medical, because that's state. But it's to make it easier for the teachers and the staff and administration. It's also, it has a whole lot more benefits as far as it'll be like an FMLA counter on there. We may even be able to get rid of blue sheets, which I know y'all don't really know what a blue sheet is, but that is requested time off. You know, it's moving some things to where it's all online versus paper. So we're really looking forward to that. But I wanted to let you guys know, and you're more than welcome, to vote on that if you want to, Mr. Hines, because that is something that is brand new. But that won't be implemented till later on. There's a lot of front load, to it. But we're just trying, our goal is to make our teachers and staff life easier for things that they don't need to worry about right now. So that is our ultimate goal, and then hopefully to offer them some savings out of their pocket.
So instead of having to go to, come to you with questions or something like that, this is a portal where there's dental insurance, their health insurance, any kind of life policy, all of those things. Will there be links in the portal to take them to their actual policies?
It'll be on have any of y'all been worked somewhere where you had an employee portal, where you could go on, like, view your check stubs, you could view, it's kind of like that. It is specific to that person.
Right.
So we kind of migrated into one a little bit called Beacon whenever we switched last year. And we've just now uploaded, that was for dental and voluntary life insurance. And then we're just now migrating Vision to that, but now they're kind of, and I've talked to Acadia, and because there's all kinds of bells and whistles and turning wheels to it, but it would provide a one platform for them. So to answer your question, yes, it'll be specific to them. And they can still come to us for questions or anything, but they have more flexibility where they just want to change their address. No, they wouldn't have to come to us. They could log on and change their address. Or if they wanted to meet with one of the agents regarding if they wanted to up some kind of voluntary life insurance or, something like that, they could do that that way.
It just gives them more direct access to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So when would that be, when will you look to implement this portal?
It won't be until after open enrollment for Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is in October. It'll probably honestly first of the year. Yeah. But just, it's kind of bundled are kind of rolled into the supplement. That's why I wanted to go ahead and bring it to your attention. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other new business? I'm not seeing any other items on there. So with that, move into closed session. You're on statutes 143-18.11, A1. So we are in closed session as of 7:14.